Just letting you guys know you can listen to my No Bleeps podcast anywhere you stream podcasts or on my No Bleeps YouTube channel. Link in the description. Hey guys, it's Billy and welcome back to Sesh. Today we are going to be talking about all the stuff that is still going on with James Charles. Honestly, this is a very crazy situation, and if you guys don't know what I'm going to be talking about, I have multiple videos that I've talked about basically everything that has come out about James Charles talking to someone that was 16 years old. He said that this person lied to him about his age, but there's been a lot going on the internet in terms of James Charles and people having a lot of questions for him and questioning the way that he's been acting recently. So I said in my last video about him that he tweeted out good morning with a ray of sunshine, like he's acting like really honestly nothing is going on and his life isn't really being affected as much as a lot of other people think that it should be. A lot of people are saying they really want him to lose his brand deals with Morphe. They want Morphe to take action and stop working with him, because if this was anyone else, they would definitely stop working with them immediately, comparing it to all the stuff that came out about Jeffree Star last year and Morphe saying that they were no longer going to be working with Jeffree Star anymore. And then there's also people saying that this is a completely different situation. He has been posting on his Instagram on his story pretty normally, I'd say. And I honestly think that James does believe that this entire situation isn't really going to affect him as much as by Sister or Dramageddon. I really don't think that he's under the impression that anything could honestly ever be as bad as that, so he isn't taking it as seriously as some people want him to. And the reason I get this vibe is because I've talked about it last week that James Charles went on the Logan Paul Impulsive podcast at one point. And on this podcast, not only did he say,
I mean, I'm 21, but like I said, I have the mentality of a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
So for me, like, I'm much more mentally and emotionally mature than a lot of people my age. I'm not physically attracted to older guys, which sucks. Like, I would date like the absolute youngest, like 18, 19 that looks a little bit older, or like 24 that like has a young personality.
Okay.
Which was extremely confusing. Like, that statement still doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if you feel like you're very mature, I think you would want to be with someone that is older and more mature and at the same stage of life as you mentally. But an 18-year-old that is mature, I don't understand it. But anyways, in this podcast episode, he also talks about how there's other people that have tried to bring him down after this whole By Sister situation. And the people come out and say, oh, this happened with James Charles. And James, the way he was talking about it was really like his fans and people that support him are saying he's been through enough, like just leave him alone, like let him be.
Really, but I will say, like, after everything that happened last year and me having to like get in front of millions of people and prove that I wasn't like, that kind of helped my narrative, my case now, where like when people do try to do that, everyone's like, you're so, like cut it out, like leave him be.
And when I heard this, I was wondering if, because James thinks that all the situations that he's ever going to get called out for will be like this, where people are like, oh, he's been through enough, if he can actually just be reckless because people will always forgive him or think that he's already been through enough, so like he doesn't need to go through anything again. So I was wondering if he thinks that he could get away with things, and that's why he wasn't checking IDs, and that's why he wasn't being careful who he was talking to, because he thinks that people will just be like, oh, like it's whatever, it's fine. Which is like extremely concerning, because this happened last July, like I said in my other videos, where someone lied about their age to James Charles, and James Charles said that the only reason why he was talking to this person was because he thought that they were older, and once they revealed their age, he did not continue talking to them. And the fact that it's happened again, I'm just like, it must just be that he doesn't think that he's really going to face any sort of consequences or anything for being reckless online and just talking to whoever he wants and like not having to confirm people's ages. He feels like, you know, he's been through enough already and, you know, just let him be. But this time feels very different. Like, this time people really want James to face some serious consequences. Ethan Klein and Trisha Paytas continue to call him out. They continue to say things about him, and they continue to report on their Frenemies podcast about everything that's going on with James in this situation. A lot of people on Twitter are still having a lot of things to say about James. A lot of people do think that James knows that this situation is definitely a lot more serious than some of the other situations that he's been called out for, because because this time people are like, why is this happening again? Why are you acting like everything is normal and it's just going to go away? And thinking he might be recognizing that this time is a little different and he is getting more hate and people do want him to take accountability because he's turned off the comments on his TikTok. There are comments still available on older posts, and people have started to flock to the older posts to comment things like not him turning off the comments again, by he turned off the comments again, he's guilty, not him turning off his comment section again. Good luck getting out of this one, James. He knows he did something, he turned his comments off, guilty AF. James, you need to be held accountable for this. Honestly, justice needs to be served. Just be honest about everything. Watch him make us feel bad for him in his apology. Now, this situation with James is quite complicated because honestly, we have just been through a lot of different times where someone has said something happened with James Charles and then it's just gone away. And I think people are tired of that continuous cycle and they really want to see something happen and James make a change. But the way that he's acting on social media in terms of just tweeting out things like everything is normal and everything is okay, and then posting on Instagram stories, I really just think he thinks it's going to blow over and that he won't have to deal with anything that people are saying and that his statement on the Notes app was good enough. But I really do think that he should have been more careful from the very beginning and that this mindset that he had, that everything was just going to kind of be blown over and everyone that called him out, people were just going to be like, he's been through enough, like leave him alone. Like that is not going to be the case when you do something more than once. People are definitely going to be suspicious of something going on, and he should definitely not have the mindset that he's just going to like get away with things and he can be reckless and not have to check IDs and talk to whoever he wants and not face any sort of anything for what he's doing. And on Friday, James Charles did make his return onto his YouTube channel again, following all of this stuff that has been going on and coming out, and people have been talking about him. A lot of people think that maybe he thought it was his time to kind of sliver back onto the internet because of all of the David Dobrik stuff that has been going on, and kind of the heat might have been taken off of James for a moment for him to come back on and just act like everything is all fine and dandy and normal in his video. Now, I don't know when this video was filmed, if it was pre-recorded or what. I know he had a video that he was going to be doing with gamers and then he put that on pause because of all this drama, so this is just a video of him by himself. But people noticed very quickly that the comment section of this video was extremely telling, and some people felt like James and his team were deleting negative comments about him and instead replacing them by buying comments that were praising James. Now, I don't know exactly how true this is that James was buying comments on his YouTube channel, but the screenshots that I have are definitely really weird because there's the same comment multiple times made by different accounts. Things like, I knew James was talented, but this man is so artistic. I knew James was talented, but this man is so artistic. Literally, these comments are the same and they're from different accounts. And then there's Sister James keeps surprising us with his hidden talents. Sister James keeps surprising us with his hidden talents. It's very, very interesting. I definitely saw some comments like these myself when I went to go look at them, but I don't know if he's buying comments, if his team is doing it, he doesn't know about it, what the situation is. But I do honestly think that James does think that this entire situation is just going to go away. I mean, he's normally posting on his Instagram again and just completely back to normal, acting like nothing ever happened. And I just think it is because he is in this mindset that he will never have what happened during My Sister happen to him ever again. But I definitely want to know how you guys feel about what he said on the Logan Paul podcast, and if you guys think that's why James was ready to act so very normal right after this entire situation happened and all this information has been coming out. And I mean, it definitely feels like it to me. Obviously, there are a lot of people that are ready to just forgive James and have him move on and, you know, be done with it because they feel like James was just lied to again, that someone said that they were 18 when they weren't, and they just feel bad for James. But honestly, there's a lot of people that are currently very unhappy with James Charles and do not want to just let this slide because he's been through a lot in his past. That's just not how a lot of people are reacting to the situation, and I want to know how you guys feel, so let me know, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.